Hi, welcome to the water sign video for the end of February. Water signs include Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And this is a general reading, so see what applies to you. Messages may apply later, so just try to keep an open mind and see things in a broad context, and always use your own discernment, judgment, logic, intuition, all of it to make informed, good, smart decisions. Hopefully this video will bring some clarity or help or insight or just, connections, sparks for you with whatever it is that you are dealing with, need clarity on, need inspiration for. Oh my god! What kind of bug is that? Where did that come from? Go away. Oh my god. Oh, I just blew out the candle. Go away. What is that? I've never even seen a bug like that before. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. Go away. It's huge. It's like a bat wing mosquito. Oh my god. Oh, where did it go? This is my, oh god. This is the second bug tonight that has found its way. If there is a bug within the Chicagoland area in the middle of February, it'll find its way to me in the, oh my god, I've already been bit up like by this other mosquito yesterday. God, that thing was huge. Seriously, it's quite impossible. I look like I have leprosy by the end of the summer usually. Just bugs love me. It's quite difficult for me to go. There it is. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to deal with this, I think. Oh, I'm scared. It reminds me of being in Costa Rica, or like where the bugs are like the size of your face. Like they're not even, I don't think they even classify as bugs because they're like creatures. Oh my god. Wow. Same within Africa. I was talking about Africa in some of the other videos and visiting there, and the camps that you go to, they spray down the tents, your tent, each night, and you even sleep under a net, but the bugs are that intense. But even still, it wasn't up to my standards. So I had a nightly ritual that I went with my mom on safari, and she thought it was hilarious. I think she even has a video of my nightly ritual, which included big boots, wearing big boots, and I had a long umbrella because you need something to like pull back the curtains because that's where they like to hide the bugs. But anything could just like pop out, so you need a long umbrella and you pull back the curtain and you spray this like 100 proof deep spray. Even still, I came out looking like I had a disease from Africa. Must be something in my blood that just attracts bugs, but it is starting to get warm here, so I'm going to have to start getting those like citronella candles and the things that you wear around your wrist and whatnot. Yeah, I really don't like bugs. Not in the least, but you know, at a certain point you do have to overcome that. I'm thinking of Louisiana, New Orleans, when I, for spring break, went down after Katrina, and we volunteered for a week to help just, you know, help with the aftermath. And well, that was a challenge for me, to be completely honest. I'm really glad I went, but it was definitely a challenge. The first few nights we stayed in the 9th ward on cots, and it was kind of cool though. You felt like you were like on a hippie commune. But in these houses, one house, we took down 2 houses, and even still felt like, I mean, for an entire week, only 2 houses. It felt like we just couldn't, you know, there wouldn't ever have been enough help. But one house, we just shoveled out mud for like 3 days straight, and this other house, we really completely took it down, like you know, drywall and all of it. But after a flood, there's, you know, just cockroaches just in every crevice, every space that you, I mean, it was really, it was tough for me. But by the end of the week, I have to say, I was really, really proud of myself because not only did I get over my fear of cockroaches for that week, but now I know that if I need to, I can take out a sink with a sledgehammer and, you know, kick down drywall and, you know, just little tips for if you also have an aversion to bugs or find yourself in a flood aftermath and need to overcome a fear of cockroaches and bugs, you know, DEET spray, big combat boots, sledgehammers, the long umbrellas, anything that you know, you can help keep a distance from the bugs and spray. It's helpful. I went on a tangent with that. A little bug, I don't know what happened to it. So I think we're okay. Whew. Whew. My little hat I found today at 7-Eleven. You would never believe what you can find at 7-Eleven. Since St. Patty's Day is coming up, I figured I needed something to wear to the South Side Parade here. That's a big deal. Now I kind of wish I would have gotten the beret. They had multiple options, but no mirror, and, you know, but so I went with, you know, the easy choice, the little beanie. It was only $4.99. I might have to go back and get the beret as well. Excuse me, that was $9.99. So, but 7-Eleven is pretty great. I'm really excited for St. Patty's Day because one of my best girlfriends from New York is going to be in town, and she's just one of those people that you can always, you know, have a really fun adventure with, whether you're just going out or, you know, doing something completely mundane and boring. It always turns into a fun adventure conversation, and I love people like that. So I'm really excited to see her. Whenever I think of her, I always think of all these like cheesy TV shows that we used to watch together, like Lifetime movies, and this one show called Being Erica, which is actually a Canadian TV show, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend it if you have the time to watch 4 seasons. But it's you can find it on Netflix or maybe Hulu, one of the two. But it's just this really great show about a girl who isn't happy with her life and ends up meeting this therapist who has her write down like all of her regrets, and she, through him, is able to go back in time to all these this entire list of regrets that she had. Everything from, you know, like I should have asked that guy out, and to I wish I would have done this to help save my brother or something like that. And she gets to go back and relive these things, and it's kind of all about like lessons and learning from her past, but they do it in a way that is just, you know, even if things do change, they don't always change for the better, that kind of thing. So it's just really, it's just like a really great, uplifting, kind of coming of age for adults show. And in one of the episodes, there's this song that, okay, spoiler, she finds out that her therapist is also counseling other people, and she actually gets to meet one of the other patients, but he's from the future. In her time, had come back to fix one of his regrets, and they kind of fall in love, but they, both feel like kind of aliens in their own time. And there's just this song called Alien Like You, which is just kind of like I don't know, maybe I'll put it below, but it always makes more sense if you watch the show. So I'll put a link for that as well. But I like that idea of, whether it's friendships, relationships, anyone in our life that, kind of make us feel a little less like aliens, a little bit more like we're at home and belong. And I think, even if we're not close with people, we can always do that. We can always try to reach out and help someone else feel like they belong, are included, are at home. And that's always a nice thing to do. So anyways, I went on a few tangents there. But yeah, it's a good show. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend 7-Eleven for accessories. And some tips on bugs. That's what we've done so far. Anyways, I thought for the water sign video, back to water signs, I would switch it up a little bit and start again with the Art of Life Tarot, because I just found out that I didn't actually read the article. My brother told me that Trump has cut a lot of art funding, which I'm just like, it's so disappointing. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of one of the links that I put in the Earth Sign Elemental video for Mr. Holland's Opus, when he's sitting in front of the board of directors for public school and saying, what you guys are going to end up raising a generation of kids that can't think, your best, they say we're trying our best, but we have to cut funding, and it's like, well, your best isn't good enough, art, culture, the things that we're passionate about, these are all, they're reasons for us to go to our jobs, to live, it's, I think far be it for anyone to deny children an outlet of artistic expression. And even furthermore, Betsy DeVos didn't even know what ADA is. I thought it was state by state, not even a federal program. And it's just, I've never been one for politics that much and really didn't pay too much attention to it, but I'm actually concerned. If the ADA hadn't been in place, my younger brother, who has disabilities, wouldn't have been able to attend secular schools and wouldn't have been able to probably get into the college that he went to, and wouldn't be on track to go to graduate school. And, everyone deserves an education, and to be putting people in charge that don't even understand the fundamentals of what our government should be implementing as far as educational programs and arts funding and whatnot is really worrisome for me. So anyways, I thought we would start with Art of Life Tarot and concentrate on the things that we do want, which is a life full of art and passion and love and creativity. So for water signs, end of February, what energies as a foundation starting point can we have? you all are having a great end of the month. Ooh. This is the High Priestess. The painting is Gothic Window, detailed by Odilon Redden, 1900, Indianapolis Museum of Art, USA. And the quote is, "At the center of your being, you have the answer, you know who you are, and you know what you want." Lao Tzu. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lao Tzu. On the bottom is the King of Swords. And this is Portrait of John James Howell Coe, detail by unknown English artist, circa 1820s, Library and Museum of Freemasonry, London, UK. The quote is, "The great virtue is the real courage to face facts and live beyond them." D.H. Lawrence. So yeah, it's about seeing what needs to be changed and, taking steps to move beyond things that are perhaps oppressive, keeping people back or not helping, to live beyond the things that we don't like, to create the world that we do like. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words tonight. The King of Swords is an air sign, represents air signs, air energy of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And like the Queen of Swords that came up in the Earth sign video, and also I think it was air sign video, someone who speaks the truth, who, aims to get their point across, to cut through the bullshit, to take the most direct route, to speak clearly, communication, mental activity, to have clear thoughts, clear action, to result in clear action, and, is quite, say, just truthful when they're on the up and up. Truthful and about the facts, and going for it, having clarity of thought, clarity of mind to make what you want to see happen a reality. So perhaps wherever that, that falls in your life, where you need to maybe address things, address facts, live beyond them. High Priestess can also be representative of air signs, but like Aquarius, sometimes it has to do with technology, science, but basically she's just the keeper of knowledge, keeper of hidden knowledge, things that are mysterious to us, that are behind the veil, and she exists between the beginning and end, between the extremes of black and white. She often represents the moon, or Cancer, signs of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, water signs, because she's second in the major arcana, and it's kind of the beginning of the feminine energy, that flow of water, of thoughts, of feelings, of emotions, and she's secretive, a little bit mysterious. She knows things that not everyone knows, and I think also similar to, is quite, even if she doesn't say everything, what she does say is wise and truthful and profound, I think. Someone who can see into the future a bit, who sees behind the veil, to the other side, the other realms. So it's a lot of mental and emotional activity between these two. And it's using your head, but also using your heart, your intuition. So logic and intuition, both sides of the mind, bringing them together, finding where we exist in the middle. She's just also a bit quiet, I think, too. Doesn't speak when nothing needs to really be said, kind of thing. But when she does, it's like everyone kind of shuts up and takes notice. Probably same with him. Sometimes be representative of kings, especially like higher ups, father figures, just someone in charge, judges maybe. But really, it's more general, I think, less than say like justice or any of these other cards. Just someone who cuts to the chase, cuts to the point. Is direct in communication, and I'd say she is too, but maybe a little bit more reserved. He might be reserved too, but basically, knows when to speak and when to hold back, and when they do talk and when they do communicate with others, they speak the truth, and they speak directly, and they get their point across, and there's really no arguing with it. It's like they speak the facts, they speak the truth. There's like, and it's, I'd say, pretty simple logic that's based in intuition, feeling, emotion. It's really the connection between the two. And, it's in the Medal of Honors and all of these, someone who's honorable, someone who is like a stand-up person, someone who, of course things go both ways, and you have to look at both sides, so, and see how this applies in your life. This could be someone this could be you could be an air sign, you could be a water sign, or just have a lot of that energy within your chart. And if you don't know what your chart looks like, I'll put a link below, and you just need to look up, your time of birth and location of your birth and things like that to get a good picture. And if you don't know, just put in moon or midnight. I think moon usually seems to work out best. But anyways, yeah, I think it's just the connection between the two. And since this is a general reading, this could represent a woman as well. It's kind of gender neutral. One thing I have said in other readings is that if you want to pull cards along with me during these videos, that's encouraged. That's one thing that actually, the way that I started to get into tarot was through astrology and just YouTube, and I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to things like this. And even though I'm quite interested and open-minded about these different areas, these different studies, these different, I'm quite open-minded, but at the same time, I'm pretty skeptical. So, I first listened to like one tarot video for Sagittarius, my sign, and then it occurred to me that, well, if this is really real, then, the same energy would probably be filtering through for other tarot or astrology readers for the same sign. And so I watched like 10 videos of for Sagittarius to see if there was any overlap, and see what, what of the same energies were coming through, and kind of narrowed it down and saw what applied to me. And with, and I was already naturally like pulling cards as I was listening to videos, and then I came across this, actually she just kind of popped up on my autoplay one day, and has really just been very inspiring person, and almost just, I don't know I'll put a link to her page as well, but she just popped up on my autoplay, and one of my favorite tarot readers on YouTube, anywhere, and then funny enough, she was saying, if you want to pull cards along with me, and that's something I was already doing. So it was one of those, the beginning of those kinds of synchronicities that started to just pop up in my life all the time, and I started to keep track of them, like the videos. Started to write down these synchronicities down to the very minute, basically, that these synchronicities and coincidences and overlaps of messages and experiences were happening, and they just kept building and more. And that's something I also recommend doing, is just kind of keeping a journal, keeping track of things like that happen in your life. And because even if you are aware of how much happens, how many times kind of mysterious synchronicities happen to you throughout the day, you forget. And it's crazy. I have about 5 notebooks completely full, front and back of these experiences that, now I can't even keep track. I write down the most significant ones, but I'd be just like writing constantly if I was still doing that. So I recommend keeping track, writing things down, keeping a little notebook journal, or also pulling cards. You can just use a regular deck of cards too, as most tarot corresponds to regular decks of cards as well, and just see, if there's any further clarity. It's kind of like a process of elimination. I use this analogy in other videos, like when you're shopping online and you filter what you're looking for from, like, women's to, or men's to, coats to the color coat you're looking for, the fabric or whatever, the price range. And it's kind of just like that. It's like a process of elimination. If I were to pull the High Priestess and you're wondering if it applied to you or someone and in what part of your life, then, by pulling your own card, it might give you further clarity as to how it directly affects you. So that's just something to try and perhaps keep in mind for now or later. But I already did that. So High Priestess and the King of Swords. So it's using that, using your mind, using your intuition, using your logic together to make smart decisions, to make good decisions, informed, insightful, fortuitous decisions. So I thought from there I would just pull another regular tarot card. This is the Thoth deck, and they have this deck. It is more has a lot more symbolism and a lot more energy, and they're all a little bit different. So you can gain some insight from different decks, and we would just do that kind of sort of process of elimination, see how different energies are commingling, intermixing, intersecting for this last week, end of February, for water signs or water energy, for the clarity for the end of February. So this is Ten of Cups and Magician. This card came up also, I think, for fire signs, maybe. Yeah, I would recommend, if looking up your chart, see what your rising sign is, what your moon sign is, what your sun sign is. For love, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. See what signs or what planets signs are in. And you can kind of think of it this way. Planets being the who, signs being the what, and the house that they fall in, the where. Houses all corresponding to different areas of your life, and it helps if you know who the original rulers of those houses are. For instance, the 7th house is originally ruled by Libra, but you will probably have a different sign in that house. So you kind of see how those energies mix and mingle, and different houses mean different things. So like the 6th house has to do with your day-to-day routine and your daily activities, the things that you have to kind of get done. Whereas 11th house is about your network and community and social networking and environment and just your extended family in a sense. And your ascendant is, or your first house ascendant is like how you project yourself in the world, how you fifth house is all about creativity. So you kind of just see how the different planets and what they mean correspond to the signs and signs in the houses, if that makes sense. I'm sure there's lots of links online that you can find just for further clarity. But again, this came up, and this is the first card, the first of the major arcana. This is using your mind, using your instrument. Instrument being your mind. It's using all the elements, all of the tools, all of the resources that you have at your fingertips and in your environment to help you. It's making use of everything. It's the I am. It's the I am energy. It's how you see yourself, how you want to project yourself. It's sometimes associated with like chemistry, like the alchemist, alchemy. He, in the reverse can kind of be a trickster. I think of like the god Loki in Norse mythology, but normally it's just someone who's using all of their resources, everything that they can to make what's in their head, what's in their mind, a reality. Usually he has one hand pointing up, one hand pointing down to signify kind of like this. This is a little bit more of like a Greek sculpture. I kind of... his pose always kind of cracks me up. He always kind of reminds me of like the Running Man or something. But let's see if I can show this to you better. There's a little bit of a glare. What was I saying? One hand pointing up, one hand pointing down to signify that as above, so below. As you think, so shall it be. Like, in the stars, so as on earth. What you think about, you bring about. So it's being in control of your thoughts as well, manifesting, that kind of thing. What kind of world do you want? It's all of these kinds of like I said, what you think about, you bring about. What we flatter will then grow. What do you want to see happen? What kind of reality do you want? And to be in control of your thoughts, not just let your thoughts run wild, which I lost the card. I started shuffling again, but on the bottom here is the Magician. That's funny. I love this painting. Maybe I'll read this too when I'm done explaining. But it's like the High Priestess. It's like the King of Swords. It's being clear-headed, clear in your speech and your communication, because it also represents Mercury or Gemini, and that's all about how you communicate, how you get across your ideas, your expression, your thoughts, how you communicate. So it can also mean having a direct connection, a direct link to the divine, to bringing heaven to earth, kind of thing. Manifesting your thoughts in reality. And I find that the best way to do that is to do that coming from a place of love. If you aren't, then it doesn't really work. You have to see everything from a filter of love. It has to be in the best and highest interest for everyone. And and that's how you have to kind of think about it, in order for you to create the reality that you are dreaming of, that you think that you want to see. And the Ten of Cups is your happily ever after. It is usually cups represent emotion, and since this is water, cups being representative of water signs, water element, it's having it all, having your happily ever after. Sometimes it's a family in a field with the rainbow and two little kids playing, and people are just it's oh my gosh, I just thought of the same girl I was talking about. She puts playlists too, and she put a song that I had not thought about in I don't know how long. It must have been, fifth grade for me, because I used to be in this theater program in the summer, called Summer Theater Lab, and we had this, the theater director of our school also ran this program, and he was kind of like this aging hippie guy. I don't remember his name, but we would put on, we would work all summer and put on plays at the Court Theater here in Hyde Park, and at the end of the summer, and they're kind of like half musical, half like vignette plays, and we'd have to learn all of these old like hippie like 60s songs, and one of them was Cheeseburger in Paradise. And we had all of these moves that we had to learn too, and so it was like cheeseburger in paradise, paradise, and that's kind of what I like remember. That's kind of what it reminds me of, the Ten of Cups and this. I'll put that song below too, and if I can remember the dance, oh my god. It was just a really fun memories. I used to love acting, and I mean, I was so shy as a kid, so it took a lot out of me, but acting was really fun, and I mean, I probably should have stuck with it. I got every audition I ever went out on. I think I was pretty good, but it was really nerve-wracking. I was so shy. It's kind of like even doing these videos, you press play and you just start talking, and like it's kind of like, blackout. By the end of it, I'm just kind of like, what did I say? Like, you're totally in the moment, and so maybe it's about that too, just like doing something that brings you completely into the moment, that where you're just having to just be spontaneous, and that card kind of reminds me of being spontaneous as well, and going on instinct, going on intuition, having to kind of tap into your memory, your long-term memory, to remember your lines and that kind of thing, and just going with it, going with the moment, and just camera lights, camera action, and just like the things click into place. You somehow remember all your lines and things like that happen, but at the end of it, you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how I just what did I talk about, what did I say, but I don't know where I was going with that. But again, these 10 reduces down to a 1, and so it's all about you. It's again like how you see yourself. It's using all of your resources, maybe exploring resources, inspirations, ideas, things that maybe you've locked away, like the High Priestess, in your memory, from your dreams, accessing those things so that you can kind of pull them from the ethers back into reality, and make them a reality. Bringing your dreams into your environment, manifesting, like I keep saying, making your hopes, your wishes, the things that you think about, real, so that you can have this happily ever after. And it's not necessarily like, the end of your life kind of thing. It can be the end of any stage, any cycle, any project, anything like that. It just shows that, like, everything kind of worked out, and it's total emotional fulfillment. It's love. It can be love. It can be representative of any, like, successful completion that brings about emotional happiness. And so again, it's using your mind, your logic, and your emotion, fire and water. I can't get that song stuck out of my head. Cheeseburger and pan. The Magician on this card, the quote is, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." William Henley. So that's definitely what Magician is all about. It's taking the reins, realizing that you have power within your mind, that we're so much more powerful than we realize, that our thoughts have so much more power than we realize, that what we think about, what we flatter, what we encourage, what we focus on really does become our reality, whether we like it or not. So it's kind of also that, like, be careful what you wish for sort of thing. You might just get it, even though that's more with like the 9 of Cups, but having passed that here with the Ten of Cups, it's definitely saying something along those lines of, you know, being successful in that sense as well. Like you successfully kind of passed that that point. It's a tweener card as well because tens, like I said, reduced down to a 1, so it's the end of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle, and it's starting fresh with this 1 here, and it's really just kind of maybe taking a second to think about what is it that you want, you know. I just thought of the Notebook when he's at the end of the movie, he's saying, what do you want, you know, and she doesn't know. I'll put a clip for that as well. Yeah, it's knowing what you want emotionally, logically, and bringing it about. This painting is so pretty. Love this painting. This is Opus 217, against the enamel of a background rhythmic with beats and angels, tones and tints. Portrait of Felix Fenionen, 1890, by Paul Signac, 1890, Museum of Modern Art, New York, USA. Just like all the colors, all the swirls, all the celestial. Reminds me of a big mural. Maybe, you know, if that wall does go up down the border of Mexico, we should just all go down there and paint a big mural of what we'd rather see the world look like. All our dreams and wishes, hopes and whatnot. Yeah, again, it's like just making your dreams reality. And when you get going with that, it really does start to feel like magic, you know, because it's almost I don't know how to say, but just ethereal in a sense. It feels so mysterious, like the High Priestess. It feels like, you know, you start to really do realize your the power of your mind and what you can do, and all the different doors of perception that you can open, and all the different paths that you can explore, and, you know, just even beyond what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's, you know, taking that extra step to, you know, you come across something that inspires you. It's taking that extra step to look into it a little bit more, you know, Googling the things that you're curious about, or, you know, and seeing where those different doors, where they lead, where those different paths lead, and then choosing for yourself which one is right for you, and then, you know, making it a reality. And ultimately, I think when it is right for you, you can't not end up here, you know. You can't not, no matter what the outcome is, whether it leads to, you know, total success and, you know, fame or something like that, or, you know, just a quiet night in with the family that is just equally as emotionally fulfilling, you know, whatever it is for you. But when you follow those little sparks, those little inspirations, taking things one step further, following your curiosity, seeing where it leads, doing a big mural somewhere that just represents all your dreams. And again, it's about like bringing the sky, the ethereal realm into reality, bringing heaven to earth. I really do think that's probably what Jesus was talking about in the Bible, bringing, you know, having heaven on earth. It's finding that oasis, that paradise, cheeseburger in paradise, within your own soul, and then within communities as well, that are, you know, these places that you can go, little oases within your mind, within your heart, within your soul, that bring you clarity, that bring you peace, that bring you to a new destination sometimes too. It's about tapping into all of these areas of your life. So yeah, let's pull one more. This is tarot and astrology, so again, it has a lot to do with energies and just different energies. Is there something on the bottom? Prince of Wands. So fire sign. male or female. This is usually representative of energies. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and it's, again, following those sparks, those intuitions, following through on those things, taking it one step further, finding that passion, finding, those initiatives that you are interested in, pursuing, whatever it is, I think sometimes we just get so used to going about our day and doing the things that we like to do and whatnot, but sometimes forgetting that we can take it one step further, that we can really delve into our subconscious, into our interests, into things that we don't even know we're interested in until we look them up and we find something that, ignites a little spark in us that makes us want to, learn something else. And just is this self-propelled cycle that does lead to happiness, no matter what kind of happiness it is. It's going to be fulfilling for you if you're following that. So, anyways, just another water signs, water element, water energy in February. These came up before, so sometimes I feel like I just don't shuffle very well. It was the Ace of Pentacles and I don't know if I can shuffle these. These are like pretty stiff. That really did not work. Let's try it again. Water signs. End of February. Oh my gosh. Cannot hold on to these cards to save my life. Strength, Leo. It's all about shining. Here on the bottom is the death card, Scorpio, which just means regeneration, change, transformation. I don't know, this kind of fell out. Sometimes I just feel like I'm a bad shuffler, but I let them pop out as they feel like it's more so that allowing energy. Strength, 8, Leo, Sun, Pluto. It's self-expression. It's life source. It's following these passions, shining. Not letting something put out your spark. Following up on things, pursuing the things that make you feel alive, that give you energy, that make you want to keep going, things that make you want to get out of bed. Leo is all about creativity and family and home and love, and it's the lion's heart. It's courage. It's having the courage to go after these things, whether big or small. It's these little things that we do that ultimately create the world that we live in. So it's having the courage to create the world that we want. This card is interesting because it looks, well, first of all, it looks like the same colors. It's that orange, yellow, red, passion, fire, energy. These kind of look like wall sconces to me or something. Light, energy, spotlight, maybe, motifs, almost like tribal motif in the background, if you can see. Looks like to me. Mars, also Mars energy. It's it's a little bit more in this card, even though it's water, it's a little bit more masculine energy, because Mars is more associated with masculine energy. It rules Aries. It's that fire starter. It's going after what you want. It's kind of, taking charge in a way too. And here I noticed the key, and also the infinity sign. In traditional tarot, there's a lion and an angel, spirit guide, kind of lovely lady in a white gown, and she has this this infinity sign over her head, which always just, as does the magician, usually also in traditional tarot. And it just represents that like cycle, the circulation of thoughts, the easy flow of things, the infinite possibilities that we are presented with when we kind of go with that flow, when we allow but also pursue. And it's about using your head and your heart, because in the Strength card, there's the lion, which represents, this card also came up for air signs as well. So we're kind of pulling it all together, and you can see how things overlap and work together. But the lion represents, our baser instincts, our animal instincts, our animal nature, the things that we are passionate about, the things that drive us, the things that, it can also mean like our sexual nature, sexuality. And the angel is about, sometimes can represent Sagittarius and Leo, which is funny. That's actually what I have in the 5th house, Sagittarius and Leo. But it just means then using, also tapping into spirit, tapping into our higher selves, into our intuition, into spirit. She's either closing or opening a lion's mouth sometimes. So, it's about having that gentle touch, so that to not be eaten by lions. But to kind of tame the beast, tame our more baser instincts, our more animalistic sides, with intellect, with intuition, with spirit, with knowledge, with expansion of mind, like the magician here, expanding our mind, expanding. Sagittarius was ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter, the equivalent in Greek mythology, is Zeus. It's all about expansion and luck and religion and beliefs, and expanding your mind, reaching for the heavens. That's what the archer and the cantor usually represents. It's the half animal, half human, pointing the arrow to the sky, but being on the ground, but always trying to get there. It's like I also mentioned this quote in another video. It's shoot for the moon. If you don't reach the moon, you'll fall amongst the stars. It's always reaching higher, always looking for ways to expand, always taking that next step, that furthering your knowledge, furthering your inspiration, finding out why you like something, why this interests or calls you, seeing how you can expand on that, how you can bring in other, ingredients, other inspirations, influences, references, how those can then, like these energies, commingle and mix and create something new. It's having that gentle touch between allowing and pursuing, and sometimes being guided by spirit, guided by the divine, by your angels, your guides, all of that. Just look at they look like two sphinxes here, which then also reminds me of the Chariot. In traditional tarot, there's usually two sphinxes as well, one black and one white, which then is like the high priestess who sits between two columns, one black and one white. It's about having control over those two different, opposing energies, trying to go in different directions, and reining them in and making them go straight, finding that direct route, that direct pathway through them, the straight way through. Tapping into spirit, help, asking for help. We have free will, so as much as I think if you believe in angels, if you believe in spirit guides, things like that, are willing and wanting to help, we have to ask. They can't really intervene unless we ask. So it's about asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for direction. That's one of the meanings of the Chariot card, which also rules Cancer, which is a water sign. So it's, sometimes someone who's in the midst of a situation, war in the Chariot card, but I doubt you're in a war right now. Maybe a social war, maybe a war at work, war of the, I don't know, whatever. But it's asking for help, divine help from, from those that know better than you how to proceed. And it's like, I'll do the, I'll fight the war, but I need your help to like guide me through it, that kind of thing. I did find a good explanation of that card, kind of more of an alternative meaning as well online, so I'll put that below as well if you're interested. I also noticed the pelican sitting up there at the top. That's different. Or maybe it's a flamingo. I don't know. It's really little. It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of looks like a flamingo, I think. We also have Virgo in the middle. These cards are different. They're a little bit interesting. Virgo, and there's two birds, actually. Three. Right here in this center point. So birds, messengers, signals, looking for signs, looking for clues to help you, to guide you from your angels, from your spirit guides, from God, from Source, Holy Spirit, from your inner guidance, from your, your subconscious, your from your dreams, anything like that. And also, yeah, the sign of Sagittarius. So it's like the lock and key, there and there and there, and all these different things. And this is the sign of Leo here, Leo the lion. So it's having courage. It's asking for help. It's seeing where you need help too. Sometimes it's hard to ask for help. Sometimes we don't even recognize that we need help. Or know really where to get it. So it's, following the guidance, that help that is offered, allowing it in, allowing love in, allowing help, and then just taking the most direct route, being in control of different energies and pulling them all together and seeing how they make sense to you in your life, in your situation, and however it applies to you in your world. So I thought I'd pull an I Ching card. These I have to look up. I don't have the entire 64 hexagram divination system memorized, but their explanations are pretty good, and you can read those if you'd like. I'll put a link to the different cards that come up. So for water signs, 22, 37. 37 also came up, I think, for earth signs, or maybe fire signs. I don't remember exactly. 22 looks like flying. Kind of reminds me of like Peter Pan flying over the bridge in London. It kind of reminds me also of what we're talking about, thinking of happy thoughts that help you to fly. And this is 37. 37 again becomes a 10, and that reduces down to a 1, so tweener, and also about you. And 22 is a master number, and it's a gateway. It's it's a door. It's an opportunity for you to walk through if you want to. He also looks like he's in that same position as the magician, of, one hand above pointing to heaven, one hand pointing down to earth. So it's being in that middle area that connects both. It's connecting heaven and earth. It's connecting the mind and reality. It's connecting emotion, heart and logic, intuition and logic. It's it's that infinity. It's all of it. So 22 ends up, being a 4, and 1 plus 4 is 5. It's change, but it's taking that step. It's taking that, walking through the door, taking a risk. I don't know what this card really reminds me of, just a meeting of people. So maybe, getting together, protests. I don't know. Getting together, talking, discussing, creating, maybe directing these. I don't know. I don't remember what this one is. Maybe extended family, which would make sense with what we're talking about. And this is like the I am. It's the builder. Also 22, I think, is representative of a builder. Just someone who just like cannot handle his dog that lives next door. It's always yelling at him. I don't know. I was on Facebook like 2 nights ago. I like rarely go online or watch the news because it just makes me so sad and upset. But I just, sometimes like to check out to see like, some major things happening. Like I do the trending thing and politics and whatnot. And oh my gosh, I was on there for like 20 minutes and I was crying by the end of it. So sad, between the plane crash in Melbourne and in the shopping mall. And then I saw a guy that is being faced with animal cruelty charges for down in Texas for like dragging his, I don't even want to go into it. I'm going to start crying. Dragging his dog, though, that looked like my dog that I had to leave in Texas, German Shepherd, one of the best dogs, Jackson, miss him. I guess, I don't know what he was on, some sort of like motorized wheelchair or something. I don't know, just horrible. Like, I couldn't even read the article or watch the video. Just, I can't understand people that, hurt animals or children. Two things that are like dependent on us to take care of, that are defenseless. That it's just beyond me how someone could inflict pain on children or animals. It's just, I think, people like that deserve the harshest punishments. Animals, children, they can't defend themselves. They rely on us for their love. They're, and they are by nature loving and loyal, and it's us that fuck them up, So like, God, people that like that just deserve the harshest punishments. Maybe, people that rape too as well. I'm sorry, this is getting kind of heavy, but it's just, I can't even imagine, if it were up to me, he would, have the same thing done to him. Let's tie him up, put him on the back of a motorcycle and drag him. Like, how dare you, kind of thing, Hopefully, he comes back as pond scum in his next life and that same dog can shit on him. Like, I don't know. I think it's awful. He deserves a lot worse than just animal cruelty charges. Dogs are so loyal, animals, just all animals. I'm not allowed to go into like Humane Society, my own. I think I've adopted like 7 or 8 animals in my lifetime. Only a couple of which I have now. I've had to like give them away, but I walk into sometimes I just find them, like my kitten. I just found me the cutest thing in the world, and he's just been such a blessing. But yeah, I think I might start actually volunteering at like a animal shelter or something like that, because animals are just blessings. They're here for us to take care of and to love, because that's all they are here to, that's their job, is to love us, and that's what they do. And for us to be cruel, for anyone to be cruel, not us, but like for anyone to be cruel to animals, just, they really need to be brought to justice. And in any case, went on a little bit of a tangent with that, but I don't even know how I got on that tangent. But I put links for these below. And the last thing I thought I would do is, I did bring it down. So I've been pulling from the Shaman of Oracle deck, but I've lost the book and misplaced the book. So I don't know, I don't feel like I'm giving like the best reading, but I do have another Oracle deck that I normally use. So just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I just realized that I had a bunch of cards that I had put aside from a reading I did like maybe last week that I still need to put the notes down into the description. So, in case you were wondering, I don't know. I think I have a total of 11 subscribers now. So, for any of you 11 subscribers, I'll put those below on that video. And oh, there we go. Okay. This is 44. That's another master number. This one always reminds me of the Leda. Da Vinci's the Leda, the whole mythology, all of it, the swan. It also kind of reminds me of Bjork and her dress, the swan dress that she wore to the Grammys so long ago. It kind of looks like her too. It's funny. I read that. Again, it's another gateway. I forget what all the different master numbers mean. I think 11 is visionary, 22 is builder, 33 is like the one that pulls it all together, and 44, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try to find that as well. I'll put that below. It's all just like informative things, inspirations, see how it applies to you. Try to think of things in different contexts and how, whatever I'm saying, swan, strength, lions, I Ching, whatever it is that kind of hits a chord with you or resonates with you or, sparks something, a little light in you to follow up with that and see how it applies in your life in whatever context you're thinking. Okay. Unison, common goals, shared values, at one with others. It is, hold it up so you can look at that. Even better light in here. It is probably not love that makes the world go around, but rather those that mutually support. But rather these, sorry, I can't read right now. But rather those mutually supportive alliances through which partners recognize their dependence on each other for the achievement of the shared and private goals. Fred Allen. This card shows us a sense of belonging. That's funny because I was talking about people, whether relationships, friendships, family, that make us feel like we belong, that we're not aliens. This card shows us a sense of belonging. We are at one with our surroundings and our relationships with others. We can move together with a common direction and purpose. Our presence is accepted and welcome. A young girl glides effortlessly through a gated lake. Gateway. In the companionship of a group of swans. Their speed and direction in unison, they become of one mind, like the magician. They symbolize finding new friends or a group who share similar ideas. There's a strong affinity with other like-minded souls. Be wary of becoming just one of many. At some point, their actions, their directions, and their pace may not be yours. Where they are leading may not be the best path for you. So again, it's all about deciding, discerning what's right for you. But direction, pace, we aren't always all going through the same thing at the same time at the same pace, tempo, speed. So it's about figuring out what applies to you now and what may apply to you later, just depending on the course of events, things going on in your life. It's about figuring out, what works for you and what makes you feel free and alive. It's like free individuality. I'll put that quote below too by John Dewey, which also speaks to progressive education. It also, that term also always reminds me of funny, like free individuality, free electricity that Tesla was coming up with. And had we gone with his ideas, we probably would have been, according to a lot of documentaries, would have been a lot further ahead in technology and progress. But, a lot of people wanted to make money off of electricity instead of having it be power source for all and many. I think he's a very interesting person. He's worth looking into, finding out more about his life too, history and that kind of thing interests you. He was also very mystic and believed in aliens and things like that. So he's an interesting guy. He said, which reminds me of this card here, Strength, the key. If you knew the significance of the numbers 369 or 396, I don't remember the order, but then you would have a key to the universe. Funny enough, I looked up my birth chart, my birth time, and found that I was born at 8:03, but that is universal time is 3 or 6:39 or something like that. Either way, 369. Little funny linkages and connections. But yeah, I don't know if there was anything else I was going to say. Oh, I didn't really get a direction or a destination, like all the other videos, so maybe I'll do a globe turn for that. This little thing from Africa before we talked about. Well, I did mention New Orleans, and I was there, but I didn't really get to experience like any of the fun parts of New Orleans. I would love to go back. And there actually is a train that you can take. I think they're building a line from New York. I could be wrong, but I know there is one from here in Chicago that goes down to New Orleans, and it's like an old, 1930s style renovated train with like white glove treatment and mahogany interiors, and you take this train. I think it takes about 5 to 7 days to get down to New Orleans, and you can either stay there or take the train back in the evening, or wait a week until it goes back and comes back. But apparently it's just like, it reminds me of any of those like mystery film noir movies, on a train. What is that one? Someone on a train, man on a train, something like that. I'm so bad with names and remembering little details. I always have to look things up, but it's also good things, and it always leads to like a new path, a new thing to look into, new spark. So look up as many things as you can. Be curious about as many things as you can. Learn and increase your knowledge about as many things as you can. Okay, so let's do a globe turn. Again, I've been saying this sometimes, and I don't know how this works exactly, but you just feel like a pool. If you close your eyes and just kind of let your hand, you can try it at home, let your hand kind of guide you, and you start to feel like a pool, a magnetic pool to just a certain area. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like here. It's Alaska, or just like the coast of Alaska. Isn't New York from Alaska, or am I making that up? Anchorage, Gulf of Alaska, Peninsula. I guess I kind of landed more towards the peninsula, Alaskan Peninsula. Alaska is like its own frontier. It's wilderness out there. But interesting if you're, wanting to go fishing or anything like that. I know it's big. I had no idea that, is it just this globe? I had no idea that Alaska was so close to Russia, the Arctic Circle. Interesting. Oh, this thing moves, so I don't know how to do the time, but it looked like it was on about 8 o'clock at night, which is funny because I was saying that I was born at 8 o'clock at night, not 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. Interesting. But it's that cream. I always look at the colors too. The cream color for Alaska. That felt like very strong. I could really like, it's almost like it's a front of the head kind of thing, kind of just like pulls you. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe Alaska is important to you for something, or it could be inspiring. Just think of like all the white snow, and I don't know if there's anything else. Fishing, sea bass? I don't know. Yeah, so I did write out, I took my own advice that I said for the earth signs. I wrote myself a little outline or, pointers to touch on as far as keep myself on track here. But I think that's it. Yeah, so anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have a wonderful and enlightening and uplifting end of February. I'll probably be doing these for March, if not something else, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.